didn't like Ben Affleck as Batman.
I don't like Ben Affleck in general. I don't know. Is it a personal thing? Maybe. I don't know. He just kind of... Do you know what? He always just seems like he's bored.
Yes, he does.
He just throws boredom around the place.
Exactly.
Much like myself.
But do you have somebody you want to take over as Batman?
Yeah, Matt Bomer.
Really?
I've been watching a lot of White Collar recently. It's one of my favourite shows. It's a bit cheesy, but it's just fun. I think he's pretty perfect for the role, if you ask me.
I don't know. I think he'd be more perfect for the Superman role.
I wouldn't like him to throw his career away like that.
Actually, funny enough, I found this out yesterday. He's doing the voice of one of the characters in Doom Patrol. He's doing Negative Man. He appears in it for the kind of origin of the character, but then the rest of it, he's not the guy that's wrapped in bandages. It's somebody else.
Oh.
And Brendan Fraser's in it. He does the voice of the robot guy.
Yeah, he was very heavily featured in the trailer.
Yeah. I didn't see the trailer. I just
saw
Matt Bomer yesterday.
No, he's very, very heavily involved in the trailer. Like, he's a lot of cutscenes to him. So yeah, it looks good. I'll probably watch it. So
we'll see.
Good stuff.
Hola and welcome to the 3600. My name is Owen and I am joined as always by Dean.
That's me.
That is you. So, last week's episode, on the Blade DVD that we were describing, Neon had 2 reviews on it. Fun time.
Neon.
I found out what Neon is.
What is it?
It was a a magazine for films to rival Empire. Do you know the Empire magazine?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't last that long. It ran from 96 to 99.
It's a pretty poor run.
It is very poor.
It's a pretty poor run, but sure, look, if Neon want to come back out of retirement as what they were and sponsor us, then we're happy enough. We'll let them.
Yeah, we'll let them put 2 reviews on the title card.
They can put as many reviews as they want.
Exactly.
Good or bad.
Yeah. So, I've been watching a lot of TV this week.
Yeah.
More than usual.
How much is more than usual?
Oh, we're talking about from when I finished work until I went to bed, like
hours.
every night. We're talking about hours. But it got me thinking about TV shows and how long is too long for a TV show to run. And
there's been a few.
What point are you going to rage quit it?
Ooh, that's a good question. Personally, I'm not one for rage quitting TV shows. I either finish them or just get through it. Like, I got through Lost. That's just too much.
I used to I used to like watching Lost until it just nothing made sense anymore. The numbers didn't mean anything, and all that, and I gave up on that. I gave up on that around season 3.
Season 3. Funnily enough, I read an article the other day, and it was published the other day. And it explained the ending of Lost nearly, 10 years later?
Yeah, if you have to wait 10 years for a
TV
show to be explained, no, definitely not. Rage quit long before that. But, it got me thinking. With the likes of The Simpsons, Family Guy, they've all run their course. Simpsons, I think, jumped the shark around season 9.
Okay.
Just like Fonzie, and that's how the word was born.
Oh, is that true?
The word, so TV term for jumping the shark means that it has literally ran out of ideas and stuff like that. And Happy Days ran out of ideas and they had Fonzie water ski and jump over a shark in the ocean in a 2-part episode where they went out to LA or California.
Did he give the thumbs up?
Or he gave the even while he went over the shark. And that's why, ever since then, when a TV show goes stupid, runs out of ideas, it's called The Moment They Jumped the Shark.
That's an incredible piece of knowledge. Did not know that. I'll write that one down.
True. But, it got me thinking about 2 favourite shows that I used to watch. Growing up was Smallville. And the second one, more recent, was Supernatural. But I'll talk a bit about Smallville first.
Okay.
So Smallville came out in 2001, and about Clark Kent before he became Superman, growing up as a youngster, dealing with the powers that he'd have a problem. But basically, it was a Monster of the Week show.
Right. Okay.
Like the baddie every week for the first 2 seasons would be somebody that got infected by kryptonite and would have powers and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you got to remember, back in 2001, there wasn't many comic book TV shows on TV like there is now.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Arrowverse or Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so all we had was this. And it started off good. It was nice. It had its charms. But you had a young Lex Luthor in it.
Okay.
Played by Jason... No. Who was it played by? Michael Rosenbaum.
Never heard of him.
Do you remember the animated TV show of Justice League?
Mm-hmm.
He did the voice for the Flash in it.
Oh.
Yeah. So he played a young Lex Luthor who was introduced to Clark Kent in the first episode and stuff like that. But, you know, it was good. It has its charmed thing, like growing up in high school. The parents was in it. He was on the farm.
Yeah,
and
that was the
everything like that. It
iconic
was
thing,
the
wasn't it?
iconic thing.
Yeah.
And it was grand. And I gave up on it around season 4. So season 1, there was no real story arc or over story arc. There was 1 or 2 episodes where the ship and the father's spirit, Zor-El's spirit, was in the ship, or you know, and could control Clark.
Yeah.
But they had this thing; they weren't allowed to use the Superman symbol.
Okay.
So, kind of at the end of the episode, or even in season 2 as well, he'd have this kind of scar thing burnt onto his chest.
Right.
That looked like the Superman symbol, but it wasn't. It was like it had an 8 instead of the S, but it had the outline of the Superman thing. So, but eventually they got around to getting to use the Superman symbol.
What was that like? Why weren't they allowed to use it?
Oh, marketing and stuff like that. Warner Brothers were getting ready for Brandon Roth as Superman. As Superman Returns.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers have a big thing about not using superhero characters if they're in a movie or something like that. They want, but it was all down to legal. But they got around it anyway, and eventually they got to use it. And he'd have it on a T-shirt,
Right.
like a black T-shirt, in season 8. But I had given up
Way
on
before
it.
that.
Yeah, I gave up around season 4,
Yeah.
where it just went stupid. It was like, it turned out to be, instead of him growing up, it was him doing everything he did as Superman with the characters in Superman, but he wasn't Superman. So Lois Lane was introduced into it in season 4, and she was a cousin of Chloe Sullivan's character,
Okay.
played by Alison Mack.
Alison Mack.
Yes.
The same one who's she's in a bit of trouble recently.
Yes, she's in a lot of trouble recently.
A small bit of trouble for she sex trafficking.
Yep, she is on federal sex trafficking charges, and I can't speak.
Conspiracy to commit forced labor is the other charge.
Yeah.
So what was the name of that place? I seen on Joe Rogan's podcast they were talking about it, and it's just it's so weird. Like it's just somebody you wouldn't ever expect to do something like that. It's like she went out to recruit people for this weird sex cult.
Yeah, and there was something like Brandon. She branded them or came up with this branding thing as well for them.
Like with cattle and stuff.
Yeah, something like that. Like it was. I heard that as well, but like
Alison Mack.
Alison Mack.
That's a good thing she got her money out of Smallville before she
Yeah.
went into sex trafficking.
But the show ran for 10 years.
10 years.
Now, I didn't watch the last season, but I watched the last episode of it. Okay. And the whole thing was, in the build-up prior years and years, was the last episode was him actually going to become Superman.
Okay.
But it was a jump forward in time to where he was already Superman. And you never actually got him to see him in the Superman outfit.
Right.
I think the last scene was him running off the roof of the Daily Planet, and he opens up his shirt, and it's like it's like he's wearing a blue T-shirt, and they digitally push the Superman symbol onto it, and I was like, oh, the poor guy.
And that would have been 2011, right?
That was in 2011.
So you can't even say they didn't have the CGI for it.
They had had CGI and everything, but it ran too long. As I said, they even had their own kind of form of Justice League in it.
Yeah.
Green Arrow was on it. They had a version of the Flash,
Okay.
but it was Bart Allen.
Oh God.
Yeah, he was it. He was the version of the Flash. The show that introduced him, they had a gimmick of him that he had all these fake ID cards, and the names on them was Jake Garrick, Wally West, Barry Allen,
Oh, okay.
all this kind of stuff. Like it was, but you know, it wasn't the same. But like they had all the bad guys in it. They had Darkseid.
Oh.
Was one of the bad guys in it, but it wasn't proper Darkseid, and they had Doomsday in it as season 8. Lex Luthor left it in season 7, but they had somebody else to play his character, and Green Arrow killed him, and then they brought Lex Luthor back. For the last episode, Michael Rosenbaum came back and played him, but it was a clone of him. Like they had a whole story arc of clones of Lex Luthor.
Okay.
And so it was a clone of him and stuff like that. But they were doing the President Lex kind of storyline, or that was the gist about it. But it got very, very soapy.
That's what I heard about that.
Yeah,
well, actually.
it was soapy and stupid. The main reason I left it was in season 4, Lana Lang was played by possessed by a spirit called Isabel, so it gave her magic powers. And at this point, I just gave up. It was like, why? Like seriously, it made no sense. It's like she was a witch kind of thing. It was you know, at the time it started off, it could have finished after season 2.
Yeah.
You know, rather than dragging it out and you getting a disappointing finale.
Yeah.
On it.
I mean, especially when your big reveal is a jump forward, that's kind of a cop out for any TV show.
But look, it got ratings and was on the CW as well, but before it was the CW, it was the WB was the channel. And then it changed to CW. But like Clark Kent was played by Tom Welling. Hasn't appeared that much in things. The last I saw him, he was in season 3 of Lucifer. It's a Fox TV show. It's based loosely on the comics Lucifer, where Lucifer leaves heaven or leaves hell. It's good. I've watched a few episodes in season 1, and I've seen most of season 2 on planes when I was travelling, so it was good. Then you had like Annette O'Toole, who we mentioned before.
Yeah.
She played Martha Kent. She was in The Punisher season 2. She also played Lana Lang in Superman 3.
She did well for herself.
She did well for himself. John Glover played Lionel Luthor's father. He died in season 7, and they brought him back in season 8, but it was a different version. It was like from an alternate reality or something like that. Okay. Erica Durance played Lois Lane, but they look. By the time it all ended, sure, everybody who he met as Superman was always met. Like he was Jimmy Olsen, Justice League. They even had a Hawkman. Just, you know, alien Martian hunter, all that kind of stuff. But he never met Bruce Wayne. That was the only thing.
He met everybody else.
He met everybody else. But
what were the real problems with it? As in, like, if you were to structure it down to maybe 3 things, what for you put you off it? Because it seems you have good knowledge of what happened after you.
Well, look, I might have jumped in and out and said, oh, you know, maybe it's gotten better.
Yeah.
But no. But it's the same with, like, he started off in high school. So when he leaves high school, and a TV show that starts off in high school, for like a teen drama, it's always going to hit bumps when they leave high school, because they're not all going to go to the same college and stuff like that. But it got really soap opera-y kind of thing. And just introducing characters just for sake, oh, we have this lad as an Easter egg, but they didn't do him justice. Like, the Green Arrow in it wore sunglasses.
Jesus Christ.
So he did. I think he was hunting Clark Kent for a time as well. But then you had Lex Luthor kind of story arcs. He ended up marrying Lana Lang, and that was like a big soap opera thing. And then he tried to do this other thing. It was just convoluted.
Yeah.
Convoluted. But yeah, I gave up around season 4 when they brought Lois Lane in. Because the one thing I liked about reading the older Superman comics, I know like in the comics now he's married to Lois and stuff, that's grand, but I used to love the whole thing of he liking Lois, but Lois didn't like him, and she only liked Superman, and do you know that whole kind of will they won't they dynamic, which was but they never really kind of did that. Lois Lane dated Oliver Queen for a while, and the main thing was it went soapy.
Yeah, so that's
and stuff like that. Yeah, and it was just introducing major storylines or story arcs, but not following through. You had a Bizarro as well in it, but it was just weird. It lost its charm from the first. The first season was grand just to see how he coped and stuff like that, and like the second episode they teased him flying because he was having a dream, and he woke up and he's floating over the bed, and he wakes up and he crashes onto the bed and breaks it, and that's it. Like he flew in season 4, but that's because he was being controlled by Zor-El, and then he didn't fly at all to the very last episode, kind of thing. So
that's look, when when I was growing up, it used to be on, was it E4 all the time, but.
Yeah, I didn't have E4. I had to watch it on Network 2. It started on a Thursday night. Network 2.
I'm much more privileged than you.
Yeah.
When I never watched it. Like I said in previous episodes, not a fan of Superman, and I think I would have been even less of a fan if I had seen Smallville. So I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. But then the next show was my favourite show, and we actually have it on. I have the box set DVDs from season 1 to season 9.
That's a lot of seasons.
On the table. It's Supernatural. It's another CW show. Now this one came out in about 2004, kind of 2004, 2005, and it's still going. I gave up around. I actually did watch halfway through season 10, and I gave up then. They're currently on season 13.
Yeah.
I saw a promo for their 250th episode.
Whoa.
But I really like this. This was created by a guy called Eric Kripke. He wrote the thing, and it was all planned out for 5 seasons.
Okay.
So the gist of it is, it's kind of like it started off as a horror monster of the week premise. It's 2 brothers that are hunting. They grew up as hunters hunting these monsters.
Okay.
One is played by Jared Padalecki.
Oh, that's a good pronunciation.
I know. I've been practicing. And then the other brother is promised by Jensen Ackles, who also appeared in season 4 of Smallville. He died.
Bad buzz on him.
Yeah. But Jared Padalecki, he plays Sam Winchester. He'd have fallen out with his father and left the hunting thing behind him and went to college. And Jensen Ackles' character Dean stayed with father and hunted. But the father goes missing, and Dean goes to get Sam's help to find the father. So they go off. And there's this mystery to find. It's like they use modern legends, like urban legends, and you can, like in first season they do an episode where it's kind of like the Hookman.
Okay.
There's one where they do the Lady in White, like urban legends of the thing, and they do it pretty good. And it was good, they didn't hold back on the horror part, but scenes were gory and other stuff wasn't and stuff like that. But it was really well done. But he had the whole thing mapped out to finish at 5. So there was demons involved in it.
Okay.
And then it was done well. Then Sam was infected by demon blood as a child, so it gave him kind of abilities.
Right.
But there was a whole arc to it, where the demons wanted to unleash, open the gates of hell, and they wanted Sam to do it.
Well, that's never good.
But yeah, and that kind of was season 1 and season 2, and then Sam died in season 2, and Dean made a deal with a crossroad demon to bring Sam back to life, and he would only have a year to live. So that was the end of season 2. Season 3, they're trying to get Dean out of his demon contract, but he doesn't. So he dies and he's dragged to hell. But then in season 4, he gets taken out of hell.
Right. Okay.
Now,
someone just comes to collect him.
They bring in angels.
Okay.
But the way they brought in the angels are actually assholes. They're dicks. They don't give a fuck about people. It's like, but they do the whole, like, it's not like, hello, I'm an angel, I'm here to help you. It's like they do from the Old Testament where the angels are warriors.
Okay.
And soldiers and stuff like that. So they bring in an angel, Castiel, played by Misha Collins. The reason he's called Castiel was they were developing his character on a Thursday. They couldn't come up with a name, so they googled Angel of Thursday, and Castiel was the name for the Angel of Thursday. So that's how they used his name.
Cool.
So they're trying to stop basically season 4. Then they realised that the whole plan was to get Dean to hell and turn a good man evil. So Dean would actually torture people down in hell. So time goes different down in hell. So he was gone for 3 months up on Earth, but it was 30 years down in hell, and he gave up and he ended up torturing. And that basically broke the first seal of hell in order for Lucifer to rise.
Okay.
So there's a whole season 4 is preventing the seals from breaking, but they fail.
Right.
And then season 5 is they're trying to stop the apocalypse. Lucifer is out. He's played by a character called Mark Pegolero, or I can't pronounce that last name.
Should have practiced that one.
I can't. But he's really, really good as Lucifer in it. And then they have a whole thing of season 5 is trying to stop the apocalypse and stuff like that, which they do.
Okay, so the whole story arc was supposed to finish.
There.
Because that sounds like it's been planned from 1 to 5.
Yeah, no, it's been out. It's been out, so I can spoil it. Like it's.
Yeah,
so
I mean, this episode's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. So the original the way it ended was that Sam dragged Lucifer back to hell. They opened up the pit, and he dragged Lucifer into the pit and
Where
got
was the
locked
pit
in there.
located? I'd like to know this because I bet you it was somewhere in America.
Oh yeah, it was all filmed. Well, it's set in America but filmed in Canada.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Did they have like a real place where the pit was?
I was in a graveyard. It was like they had a cage. They had this thing where they had the whole 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and they all had rings.
Right.
And those rings, if you put them together, would open up the pit the cage that Lucifer was locked in. So you had Death in it. Death was actually a fairly cool kind of guy. He actually was rooting for the Winchester brothers.
Right. Okay.
He actually handed over their ring. There's an episode where he is, in order to get Death's ring, Dean has to become Death for a day. So, and it's really good. Like, it was all properly planned out and stuff. But it was supposed to end with Sam stuck in hell with the devil, and Dean gets to live the normal life that he always wanted.
Okay.
And that was it. But because it was so popular,
Yeah.
Eric Kripke said that was him done after 5, but they said no, CW wanted more. So then they did 6. So it ended on this weird cliffhanger of Dean going into the house with the woman he always loved and her kid, and having a dinner.
Yeah.
And then it goes to outside the house, and there's Sam magically there, and you don't know why.
Just standing outside the gaff.
Yeah. So then they do season 6, which was okay. It was a different showrunner.
Oh, so the guy who done 1 to 5 is gone now?
He's gone. Nothing to do with it.
Nice. I like
they did
that.
season 6. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst.
Right.
Then they did season 7, and they decided to change everything. Like, they had an iconic... the guys had a car, a Chevy Impala, 1967.
Okay.
Iconic US car.
Right.
But they got rid of that car. And they were on the run, and they had... it wasn't the same. It was
Something felt off.
just something spelled off. But I stuck with it, and then they got a different showrunner for season 8.
Oh, that's never good.
But season 8 was actually very, very good. They had
Okay.
this whole thing of kind of tablets and stuff like that. It was good. It kind of reinvigorated it again.
Okay.
The whole thing was they were going to close the gates of hell for good, but they didn't. And then they had season 9, which was okay. I didn't. It wasn't as good as season 8. They had this whole thing of the angels got locked out of heaven. The scribe God
Wasn't that song by
locked
Bruno
them
Mars?
out. Yeah. He got the idea
Yeah,
from watching
that's right,
Supernatural. So the angels are all down on earth. They've all fallen out of heaven. They've no wings or anything like that. So the angels have to travel around in cars and stuff like that. It's no like poof and disappearing kind of thing.
How the mighty have fallen.
So it went down, and then it went to season 10.
Right.
And I watched it halfway through, and there was no oomph. There was no, wow, this is getting it's kind of, it was like, okay, that episode was alright, like, but there was no, like, building momentum, like, in the first 5 episodes, or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
They did their 200th episode. That was a musical.
Oh, brilliant.
But it was actually one of the better episodes of it, because they were the boys were investigating a murder at a high school, and the high school was doing a musical of Supernatural. Right, so basically the stories of what they'd been done was written down by this character called Chuck, who was in season 4 and season 5, and he was a prophet.
Right.
Now he thought he was just dreaming all this stuff, but he was writing down what these guys actually did and sold them as little cheesy teen novels.
Jesus, okay.
So, but it was good. So they did a musical of it. They did an a cappella version of "Carry On, My Wayward Son."
Oh, I like that song.
Yeah, which was good. But then, at the very end of the show, Chuck appears at it, and it was kind of like a little nod, but it was like alluding to something else.
Right.
Because the bad guy, the monster of the week that week, was killing people who like created stuff, and she alluded to, the ultimate creator was coming, and then Chuck shows up at the end, so they kind of alluded to the fact that Chuck was God.
Okay.
And then I was like, no, this is wrong. Chuck can't be God.
Yeah.
Because it plays down what he did in season 5. And then, lo and behold, yeah, he was God. And that was it. And it was like, that was it. I'm done.
You're just done.
It was done. That whole thing of God's sister was in it. She was the bad guy. She was called the Darkness.
Like the band.
Yeah, but she was better looking than the band. But yeah, I gave up. It's still going strong, but they've brought back everybody that died.
Okay.
Like their father, John Winchester, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Negan from The Walking Dead. He died in the first episode of season 2.
Okay.
Then he appears in the end of season 3 as a ghost kind of thing. Because he got locked. He did a deal to save Dean, so he was dragged to hell. But he never changed. He never, went rogue down there. He never tortured anybody.
Okay.
So originally they were trying to get him to break the seals. It sounds stupid the way I'm describing it, but the first 5 seasons are very, very
I've
good.
never seen it and don't know much about it. The only thing I do know about it was that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in it.
Yeah.
But from the description, season 1 to 5 seems like something that I could watch. Whether I'd like it as much, not sure.
Yeah.
But it sounds okay. It sounds like it had a plan. It sounds like
had a plan,
yeah, it was planned out.
He's brought back to life for the 250th episode.
How'd they do that?
I don't know. All I know
Oh,
is
you
he's
didn't see
back.
it?
I didn't see it. I saw the promo and he's back in it.
I seen the reunion pictures.
Their mother, Mary Winchester, played by Samantha Smith.
Okay.
She dies in the pilot episode, but she's featured in one or two episodes after that where she's a spirit and stuff like that. But it's done in such a way that it's believable. But she's brought back to life at the end of season 10. You've other characters that die and then they come back in some other way or form. It's like comic book deaths now.
Yeah.
They can't stay dead.
Yeah. That's something that we could probably go on for.
Yeah.
Comic book deaths, but yeah, no, I get the point. It's like it just stay dead.
Yeah, but yeah, look, 5 years. They should have finished that after the 5 years, and that was it. It's just the more it goes on, they're recycling plot lines and recycling ideas, and it just makes the good episodes seem crap.
Yeah. Do you think that by dragging it out to 2019, that it takes from the show, as in really bad, as in like irreversible damage, or do you think that people who loved seasons 1 to 5 could probably get through it, and maybe it was just a bit of a...
if you're going to get through it, just stick to watching 1 to 5. And I would like...
Watch 1 to 5 and then
I haven't watched any of the box sets since I found out Chuck was God.
Yeah, you just like...
It's just like, why? It's just... No, I think they did have there is a plan for it to finish. I think they're doing one more season, and then I think they're going finishing it on the 300th episode.
How many episodes per season?
They do, because it's CW, it's 22.
22, okay.
But season 3, during the writers' strike in Hollywood, they did 13 episodes.
Right.
And it was very good. There was no filler or anything like that. But yeah, it's like, how long is too long for a show to run?
That's the question. I think from listening to you, I think Supernatural is running too long. I mean, you can get away with it for other shows, but at some point, like, the best shows are kind of
run their natural courses.
Yeah, they finish. They don't take liberties with time, like Breaking Bad. Even was it 7 seasons maybe?
Yeah, like, you have Star Trek: The Next Generation, Star Trek: Deep Space Nine, Star Trek: Voyager, all did a 7-year run, and you knew it was going to be 7 years. You had 6 Feet Under, that did 6 years, and that finished on the best season finale. You got closure of all the characters and how their life lived out, and how they did in like a 3-minute monologue, video, with Sia's Breed Me in the background, which, to me, is the best finale ever in a TV show. But then you have other TV shows that go on too long.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think mainly 7 years is long enough for a show to run.
Yeah, if you can accomplish...
If you can accomplish what you want.
Yeah.
Better to go out on top than go out
when people start turning on it. Yeah. It's starting to happen with The Walking Dead, but there's definitely shows like that just need to end. But the problem with that is some people just don't know how to end a TV show.
Yeah.
Like, you have so many plot lines and so many, den plot holes. It's like, how do you finish it?
Yeah, it's like there's so many bad
TV
show finales. Like, Lost was a bad TV show finale.
Yeah.
There was a TV show in the 80s, St. Elsewhere's, hospital drama.
Right.
Denzel Washington starred in it.
Okay.
I think it's one of the worst in history for finale endings, where it ended up going to the outside of the hospital.
Yeah.
And then the hospital appears to be inside a snow globe. And the snow globe is in the hand of a young autistic child.
Right.
And everything that happened in the seasons or TV shows was all made in the imagination of this young autistic child.
No.
Yeah.
That's... nah.
But maybe that could be an idea for another show, an up-and-coming show we could do. Best and worst TV show endings or finales.
I've got some good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll take that down. So Supernatural, is it just finished, or are you going to watch the rest
No,
of it now?
I'm done with it. And if I was going to go back and rewatch it, it'd be season 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
And
And
that's
then
it.
the last, as soon as the guy enters the house, finish it there. Don't see the other guy standing outside the house magically.
Cut it off then, and
then
that's
you get
it.
your closure.
And then Eric Kripke will be like, "Oh, thank God, somebody did it the way I wanted it to do."
Yeah, and he can live on in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, look, I've never, like I said, never seen one episode of Supernatural, so I'll probably never end up watching it.
Yeah, it'll be on E4 again. So, but what about you? Do you have any TV shows where you rage quit and just said, "No, thank you, sir. Good day." I said good day.
I tend to get more bored with TV shows rather than rage quit, because there's a couple, like one example would be The Blacklist. It's that type of villain of the week show, and then it has like plot lines driven in behind it, but it just got boring. And then they tried to do a spin-off of one of the guys in it called like Blacklist Redemption or something. I think it went 10 episodes.
I saw
and
that.
Then
Yeah,
they cut it.
One
just
season.
Like, no, we're not doing that. But like they were running out of ideas, and then one of their ideas was to do a spin-off of a show that was already still running and run them alongside each other, and that didn't go well. So I just got bored of it. Rather, in terms of rage quitting, I mean, the only real show that annoyed me was probably Luke Cage on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, that's annoying. What did you think of it?
Well, I only watched the first season.
I watched the first season was...
Well, that's a lie. I watched the first season and 2 minutes of the first episode of season 2, and I was like, "It's sunny outside. I can go out and play."
Yeah, I have much more to do with my life. It was annoying because they had a good villain in Marshala Ali.
Cottonmouth.
Yeah, the guy who was in Green Book. He was good because you wanted to see him. A good villain is always somebody that you want to see get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
But he got thrown out a window very early in, mid-season.
He kind of died with a whimper.
Yeah, and then you're like, you were like trained to think that this was the villain, but he's not the villain. He was a villain, but he wasn't the villain.
He wasn't the big bad.
Yeah, and then the way they finished that season was just so annoying. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I've seen 12 episodes because
I actually can't remember what happened in the finale.
That's the thing. It's too sketchy for me because I watched 11 episodes. I was like, okay, that's fine. You know, you got to see everything was grand about the show. There was some good bits in it. The guy who played Shades was Tia Rossi. He was in Sons of Anarchy, another show that was brilliant. He was a good character, or he is a good character. I think he's still in it. But in terms of how the season ended, I have no idea. I think, didn't he fight his stepbrother? Was that the thing?
Yes, his stepbrother.
His stepbrother was kind of annoyed because, you know, Luke Cage.
He had powers as well, or he was.
Did he not make them though? Did he not have two gauntlets on his wrists or something?
Yeah, he had to. Yeah.
And it was like something. It was like he looked like one of the Ghostbusters, and it was like they just fought each other, and it was boring. And I was just like, turn this off. And I never actually watched episode 13. When season 2 came out, because I had seen Luke Cage in The Defenders, which it was okay.
The Battle of New York, the most important battle, happened in the basement of a building.
Yeah, and then Daredevil died. Or so we thought. Or so they thought.
So they thought.
Yeah, we didn't definitely think that. But nothing wrong with the actors. I think everybody played their part pretty well. There was some good storylines, but really, I think it was genuinely the worst of the Marvel-based Netflix shows, including The Defenders.
What about Iron Fist?
No, I liked Iron Fist.
Really?
Yeah, I genuinely liked Iron Fist.
I think you're probably the only person I've ever met that liked Iron Fist. I heard season 2 was a lot better than season 1.
The thing that annoyed me about Iron Fist season 1 was that he just seemed like a whiny bitch for most of it, and then he was kind of cool when he did the whole power thing. But Luke Cage, just in terms of boredom and being pissed off, it did both of them. So I was like, yeah, I'm finished with Luke Cage. Another one that I would I say rage quit again? Probably not. But Vikings. Have you ever seen it?
No, I've heard of it. This was filmed down in Ireland, down in Wexford.
Yeah, they're always looking for
Gabriel
extras.
Byrne was in it for a few episodes in the first season.
Yeah.
I don't like Gabriel Byrne.
Why not?
I just don't.
Because he sucks.
He was in RTE Bracken before Glen Rose started.
Alright, I thought you meant like Gay Byrne that was on G.
No.
Vikings, seasons 1 to 3 were brilliant. And they just took a wrong turn. The battle scenes are brilliant. It would kind of be up there in terms of closely behind Game of Thrones in terms of action scenes.
That's a big statement to say.
Yeah, but it's doing well. It's the storyline that they have going now seems to be doing well, and they seem to be getting similar ratings to what they were. But for me, it just kind of got boring and confusing.
Yeah,
like,
you kind of lose interest in at that stage. It's like, well, if the writers aren't going to bother, I'm not going to bother.
Yeah, but it starts with like a guy on a farm. His name was Ragnar Lothbrok.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
Nah, he's a strong character. Like, you know, it's a strong name, and he's living there with his wife, and you know they have 2 kids, I believe, at that stage. But when the season progresses, he kind of, you know, becomes a Viking, really. So he fights against I can't remember who it was because it was so long ago, but there was a guy of the villain was coming burning places down, and you know,
as they do
as villains tend to do, with pesky villains. But
and did he have the curly mustache that he used to twirl? Do you know, like the old Western serials back in the 1940s? Like, you could identify the bad guy through his mustache twirling.
No, maybe not, but he had a savage beard. He gets taken down. Ragnar fights him in combat and kills him, and it's like you're cheering. You're like, yes, this is some good stuff. Season 2, I believe season 2 is a small bit of a time jump. In that the kid's grown up for some reason. He's like, he becomes this annoying little kid. You know that stage when they're like between.
They go from cute,
to really annoying.
And then to adult.
Yeah, he was really annoying. It was Björn, a good Viking, strong Nordic name.
And do you think the time jump affects the story?
No, I think they needed to do it.
They needed to do it.
Because he becomes a huge part of the seasons to follow. And I was like, why did you introduce him so young? But I suppose it would be, they did kind of an origin story on Ragnar.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't the king that he is when he starts off. So they had to kind of make a sacrifice somewhere. I guess it was the kid. So this whole Viking story, it's actually based off a real person, but the story they don't follow the story very closely.
Yeah.
So he also has a brother. What is his brother's name? I can't remember. Rollo. Yeah, no, he was like a prince or something in France. He was a Viking, obviously, but he married one of the French princes.
He didn't have anything to do with the Rollo chocolates. Do you know that one?
Nothing.
You know, when we were growing up and you'd have the ad, who would you give your last Rollo to?
Nobody.
Turns out girls didn't like Rollos.
At all?
No.
I
did a survey with all the girls I offered my last Rollo to, and they said no.
Nah, I'd rather not, thanks. Cheers, pal. Yeah, he's a good character. He's a bit annoying, as all side characters tend to be. They invade England, and they take back a priest, which is fun, I guess. And then the priest becomes a believer in the Norse gods and Viking mythology.
I thought
And,
of converting to that.
Yeah, same. It's much more.
It just makes sense.
Thor.
Yeah.
Like, Odin.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Definitely.
Thunder and stuff. But anyway, the priest becomes a Viking, and there's an episode. It might be season 3, but I'm not sure. And he's like a badass Viking priest killing people. But not everybody likes him because he was a Christian before he obviously converted, and they don't like Christians in that time, the old Viking period. So one of Ragnar's closest friends ends up killing him, and Ragnar doesn't like that. So he kind of locks him up in a weird, like, sex dungeon type cave.
Sex dungeon.
It looks so weird. And
a Viking sex dungeon type cave.
And it's like he's tied up to all these things, and it's just weird. Eventually gets let out, and I think the point of the new season is that he went off somewhere else. And Ragnar never got over the death of the priest because he was good friends with him.
Oh, okay.
So the story continues in that Vikings did what they do. They went and found new places to rob and stuff, and they go to France, which was one of their bigger fights. They tried to invade Paris, and since Ragnar becomes king, Rollo doesn't like that very much, and that the bit of jealousy becomes apparent. So they go they try and take Paris, and then Ragnar and Rollo are always fighting, and everybody thinks that Rollo should leave because he's a bit of a bitch. He's just bitching too much. He's your king, get over it. And Rollo ends up joining the French boys, learns to speak French, which is funny, so that's always good. And they do this plot where Ragnar climbs up one of the walls, because like siege walls in Paris back in the day, you would have had they built ladders.
Yeah.
And they climbed them, or the scaffolding actually, it wasn't ladders, and then Ragnar fell off the scaffolding and he flips himself off. He gets so hurt, and they have to retreat. So they come back after they retreat. He looks like he's getting better, but then he starts to develop some sort of sickness, and it looks like he's gonna die. So what they do is they try and fake his death so that the French king will believe that he's dead, and they try and bring him in like a coffin into Paris because he wants to be baptized or something along those lines.
Okay.
I don't really know. And then surprise attack Vikings.
Kind of like a Trojan horse kind of thing.
Exactly like a Trojan horse kind of thing. At this point it was getting kind of boring for me. They finished the season. I can't even remember whether they won. Probably not, because Paris still stood, so they probably just retreated. And then they had a storyline completely different. They went back to England, where the king of England, Ragnar, goes to try and kill him, but he ends up dying himself. So they kill off the main character in season 4.
Okay.
And then there's another. So the previous, I didn't really explain the time jump well. So his son was a grown up when they were attacking Paris. So that much time would have passed. So Ragnar was a lot older. Then they did another time jump because he had more sons.
Right.
With like 2 other different women. They had that weird storyline as well.
Classy guy.
Yeah, he's a classy guy, but he's a king, so you can't really blame him. So his sons, I think he had 4, maybe 4 sons, and they were, now the point of it is they're all fighting to see who gets control of where he used to be. I think one of them died. Not sure, I haven't seen it, but it just bored the piss out of me after that. And you know how I know it is? Because if I listen to this back, I'm going to know how boring it sounds. I don't know, it's like when they killed off Ragnar, I just thought they made the wrong move.
Yeah.
And then every episode after that just seemed like a chore, and there's nothing fun about it.
Yeah, why watch something if it's going to feel like a chore?
Yeah, it wasn't for me. I got through 4 seasons of it, maybe to the end of 4,
Did it have a musical episode?
No, maybe it would have been better if it did. I'm actually watching a lot of TV shows at the minute, and they seem to have like musical themes in it.
Yeah, I think I think it's the moment where a lot of people give up on their shows of musical shows.
Yeah.
Like Buffy had one.
Did it? I didn't know.
Buffy had a musical episode. The Flash had one.
Oh,
That was a Flash, Glee, Supergirl crossover.
Episode, yeah.
Riverdale.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I heard so much shit about that show.
It is, yeah. We'll quickly move along. But yeah, it's like, why? People don't sing in real life.
Nobody sings in real life. There's nothing to sing about.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I think that's the moment where a lot of people give up on their TV show is when they have a musical episode.
I don't know. Is it a prerequisite for shows now that they have to do musicals, or is it just...
I just think they run out of ideas.
Yeah, a musical is when you know you run out of ideas.
Yeah.
And then you start a TV show based on musical like Glee. Although a lot of characters from TV shows now started in...
Exactly. Supergirl started in Glee.
Yeah.
Flash. Yeah. But yes, so that is they're the main two shows that I have given up on.
Yeah, and I just kind of got bored with the ones that I thought of. I didn't really have as much thought out as you did. You had some rage from those shows, but
well, like you invest a lot of time in these shows, and you need the investment to pay off. And when it doesn't, it's just like you're not going to get those hours back.
That's true. Like when you're, when you think about it, how long were the Supernatural episodes?
They're an hour long, or 40
God.
minutes, including ad breaks.
Jesus. Yeah, you can never get that time back.
No.
Really. There's nothing.
Exactly. You can't get anything back out of it. So yes, it gets me so angry.
Yeah, I can see why that would anger you really. I just kind of don't care.
Yes,
It's
don't
more
care.
of a... It's... yeah, I wish I could get the time back, but nah.
No.
And I'll just probably never watch the shows again.
Exactly.
And
Why
that-
bother?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're to say, let's introduce a bit of a rating system. What we give in Supernatural?
Season 1 to 5, I'm going to give it plus mark. Tick. We'll go plus 25.
Plus 25 for
Plus 25.
for seasons 1.
Everything after that, minus 71.
Ooh, minus 71. That's a bit controversial. Minus 71.
Well, yeah, it's like they stuck two big FUs up to the... Like, it's like, come on, a bit of imaginative writing. Something new for a change. Yeah, minus 71. I said it. Hashtag minus 71.
Minus 71. And then what about, what's the other one?
Smallville. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a minus 10. It tried.
It tried.
It tried.
Minus 10 is you tried. Okay.
Minus 10 is you tried.
You weren't very good, but you tried. This rating system, I like it.
And for you, a Luke Cage.
Oh, Jesus. Minus 742.
And you give that to me for minus 71, like.
Yeah, well, this rating system, mine means something. It means it sucked so bad after they killed Cottonmouth. It was
So
just,
up until the death of Cottonmouth, you'd have given it a plus.
I'd given it a minus 10 because they tried.
Minus 10. Okay, and then Vikings.
Seasons 1, 2, I'd give it like a plus 5 or something. And then after that, it was just slowly decreasing from a minus 10 to a minus 71. We'll say, in between there. It slowly got worse.
Okay, fair enough.
And then my boredom levels just increased. And that's normally how most of my TV shows go. I don't know. Are there the only two shows you've ever raged with? As in, like, in terms of rage.
Well, like, I invested a lot in it. I was a big, or still am a big Doctor Who fan. I did very nearly come close to rage quitting that in Peter Capaldi's first season as the Doctor.
Okay.
It was just the Doctor was going down a different route
Yeah.
to what you were used of and stuff like that. But I no longer watch Doctor Who.
Okay.
It's not because the new Doctor is a girl or anything like that. It was because I was actually looking forward for it. Like it's something new, something fresh. And she came from another TV show, Broadchurch? Probably not Broadchurch.
No idea. I recognize her, but no.
Yeah,
I have no idea
where she was very good in that. But the reason I no longer watch it was that it's gotten boring.
Yeah.
I watched the first 4 episodes of the latest season, and it just got boring. But I didn't quit, so I've always I've kept an eye on it.
So something that you could go back to.
That's something that I could go back to and would like to go back to. But yeah, other than that, they're the two that I raged quit. Another one that I kind of got bored of was Battlestar Galactica after season 3. I kind of got bored of that. Prison Break just went stupid. It was just...
I watched every episode of Prison Break until the new one.
I have season 1 on box set.
Season 1 was probably the best.
But it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's like they break out of prison and said like so. But then season 2 was just a bit stupid. It was just I didn't get angry at it because I didn't really care enough about going down the wrong thing. Like people, like when you finish work and you get home, you had a stressful day. And you want to sit down and watch your favourite TV show, you invest time into that, and it kind of de-stresses you, and that's a really good episode, and stuff like that. So, and then they start, when that turns bad, sure, you're going to get fed up with it and bad. Like, it's just going like, what the hell?
Yeah, what the hell generic TV show. But
yeah, they're the only two that really come to mind for me, rage quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems more of a you thing to do. Like you'd hold a grudge about that TV show.
Oh yeah, I would hold a grudge about the TV show.
Me, I just don't care enough to. I just never watch it again, and then hopefully I'll never be stung like that for TV shows again.
Yeah, but it'll happen. I'll find something new, and then I'll get stung.
So we learned about Smallville and Supernatural, and then
Vikings.
Terribly about Vikings, and then maybe I didn't talk enough about Luke Cage,
but I think everybody knows really what Luke Cage is anyway.
Yeah,
so.
A lot of people still do like Vikings,
yeah.
But the way I described it, you'd probably never watch it again. And that's just probably a good thing.
Probably
a good thing. We've introduced a new rating system.
Yep, our plus and minus.
And we've talked about another couple of generic TV shows that are not on the list. So.
Exactly.
So let's do it. We will wrap it up there, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, that would be cool, at 3600 podcast. Give us a like on the video, sure. Why not? Because it only takes 1 second.
It only takes
if
1 second.
If you're logged in, just click
just click the like
Just
button.
one thing. It's a thumbs up. It's a generic
or even
symbol.
You can click it's the subscribe button as well. But don't bother pressing the alarm bell.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just subscribe.
Now be aware, when you're trying to subscribe, there is 2 clicks, so it's not as simple as 1 click. You have to confirm it.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, it's like you click it and then goes, are you sure you want to follow this person?
Really?
Yes, you do.
Oh, that sounds a lot of work for me. Like
a lot of work. But if you can do it, we'd really appreciate it. But definitely hit like, follow us on Twitter. We're always looking for ideas, so if you have anything that you'd like to hear or anything like that, just
or let us know which show you rage quit.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
In the comments below.
Get them involved.
Yes.
But only get involved if you subscribe. Otherwise, we don't want to talk to you.
It's mandatory to subscribe.
Mandatory subscriptions.
Yes.
And
exactly.
With that, we will see you next week. Have a good one.
So long.
Bye.